Just a minute. Okay, so starting out, I just want to start out today. Today is Wednesday, the 14th, by showing you some things you could look at tonight to start studying for Friday's test. The first thing we did was, the first thing that'll be on Friday's test is simplifying expressions. This was when we combined like terms. We should have some notes back from the 6th. And we practiced combining like M's and things of that sort. We even did a worksheet with a bunch of what I call boxes on it. We combined the like terms. It was kind of like front and back. Some were a little harder than others. Okay. Then we talked about solving equations on 3-7. We should have these notes. We talked about the inverse operations, and we took some notes, finding what each variable equals. Okay. We then did a worksheet on that. We did adding and subtracting on the front. We did on the back, multiply, divide. Then, last Thursday, I'm sorry, y'all were out of here on Friday, so Thursday, we did this little assignment. It was 20 points, where the top of it was reviewing like terms, okay, and then the bottom was working with equations. Okay, you should have that back graded. If not, it might be in my tray over there, but I can get it for you. We then, this week, we've talked about writing inequalities. Okay. We practiced it doing homework with writing inequalities. That was Monday. Okay. Yesterday we did graphing with inequalities. And of course, now I can't find it. Here it is. This is graphing with inequalities. So we're going to go over this homework in just a minute. And then today's notes will look like this. Okay. We'll do this in a little bit. And then tomorrow we'll do a big review sheet. The review sheet that we do tomorrow looks just like the test. So it's important. Okay. Now, so let's go over last night's homework on graphing, even though I've already lost it. There it is. Graphing these inequalities. So, let's start checking these things. Here we go. Graphing inequalities. Everybody good so far? Okay, so last night's homework was where we took, if it was just the greater than or less than sign, we learned we needed an open circle. We then learned that with variable is, like if x is less than 9, we need to shade in everything that's less than 9. Okay. 2 tricks that I learned later in the day, or that I noticed, I just had never noticed before, is, and if you'll look, I'll show you, if the variable is in the front, notice this, that symbol matches that part of the arrow I shaded in. Okay, so like if that variable's in the front, that symbol matches the point on the arrow part that I shaded in. Okay. Another thing to kind of check is, does your answer make sense? So what I mean by that is, if you tell me this 5 is an answer, I should be able to put the 5 right where that variable is, and it work. So, is 5 greater than or equal to 4? Yes. So you've got the right side of the number line shaded in. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of go down. I'm going to show 10 through 18. Okay. Check for the open, closed holes. Check for the right end of the right graph being shaded.
What happened?
1 second. We're going to try to hit pause. My projector went out.
Yeah, I think something's on board.
Here we go. So my projector quit working for a second, so we had to stop, but that's okay. Now, checking the last one. Guys, all this is what we did on Monday and Tuesday combined. Here's the deal with this one. it says total donations at the Fireman's Ball failed to reach $940. Write and graph an inequality that represents the amount raised. This is a big deal for Friday's test. Okay, to write it, I did D for donations. They are less than 940. So I put an open circle at 940 and I shaded in the less than sign. Okay, you've got to be able to do writing inequalities and graphing. Okay, everybody good on that one? Okay, now, will you get out today's notes sheet that I just passed out? Now, today's notes are the last new concepts for Friday's test. It is not hard. In fact, it's going to go back to how we solve an equation by doing the opposite or the inverse operation, okay? Today is the 14th. Okay, so these are going to be notes on the last part of the inequalities. Here we go. Starts out with saying, state whether the given value is a solution to the equation or inequality. Write yes or no. I'm waiting on everybody to kind of get settled in. Find this sheet. Listen, there's going to be a good bit to fill in on this. Okay, now we're going to be looking at some words. Equations mean equal signs. Inequalities mean the greater than less than signs. We're going to have to write yes or no, but we've also got to solve this thing. Now, what they want us to do is, for this math problem, they want us to take x equals 6 and fill it in and see if it works. So, I am literally going to take that 6, put it where x is. I am copying the rest of the problem, just like when we did equations. You have to, yes, you have to show all your steps. Now, 3 times 6 would be the first thing because it's multiply, and you copy the rest of the problem. Now, 18 minus 7 is 11. Okay, so my final answer is 15 is greater than or equal to 11. Is that true? 15 is greater than or equal to 11. Yes, that is true. So you put the word yes because it is true. That was where that came from. I'm not sure what you mean. Because it's equal to. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not equal to on this one. It is this one, yes, it works, but is it working because it's an equation with the equal sign, or is it working because it's an inequality? Inequality, because honestly, 15 is greater than 11, right? So, it works, yes, but it's because it is an inequality. Now, please keep your comments about my math being dumb to yourself. And I will be honest, this is some long, tedious steps, but it goes back to the world of algebra and proving why your answer is right or wrong. Okay? This is the longest of the steps of all the week that we've done. So that's why I need you to get these notes, so when we do it, like, you know exactly what I'm requiring or what I'm expecting of you. Yes? Yes. So, on the second one here, we've got x equals 8 right here. Okay. So back here, we need to fill in both 8s. And there is another one right there. Okay. Now that I've got both my 8s filled in, I need to solve this thing. First step is left to right multiply or divide, and it's multiply. So I get 16 plus 30 minus 4 times 8 is greater than or equal to 14. The next step would be this multiply. Okay. Now, left to right, add or subtract. Starting with this add. Okay, 16 plus 30 is 46. And 46 minus 32 is 14. Now, my final statement, or the final little statement here says 14 is greater than or equal to 14. Well, is that true? Yes, it is equal to. Like, it is true, but it's true because it is an equation, because it is equal to. Equations are equal to. Okay? If it did not work, like if it comes out and it says 14 is less than 15, then you would put no. No, sorry, 15 is less than 14. Then you would put no next to it. And it's not an equation or an inequality. Okay? So, that's the first thing that you could be asked to do. Okay? Second thing. Now we're going to test each value, these values, in the replacement set. This is the replacement set. To determine if the values are solutions. List all numbers that make the statement true. Now, we're going to circle, okay? But you have to show your work to prove your answers. Okay, so basically these numbers right here are your replacement set for that x. And we got to try each one. Okay, so I'm going to start with the number 2. Put it where that x is. 7 with a 2. That would be 14 minus 7. So I get 7 is less than 30. Is that true? Yes. So I'm going to put a little check there, and I'm going to circle the 2 because it is one of my answers. Okay. Now I got to test the next number, which is a 4. Okay, I got to copy the problem, just like we do in algebra every time. We got to fill in for x. Do not skip steps or whatever. I don't know. Can't skip them. 28 minus 7. And that is 21 is less than 30. Is that true? Yes. So I put a little check, and I'm going to circle the 4 because the 4 worked. The ones that worked, yes. And you might have one that works, or you might have all 4 that work. You just got to test them. Okay, now I'm going to write the problem again. 7x minus 7 is less than 30. I'm going to fill in that 6. It is not easy to fill in, I can't lie. You just got to make it work. Or you could do it on notebook paper, but I'm just kind of making it work. 42 minus 7 is 35. Is 35 less than 30? No. So, I'm going to put a little X there just to tell myself that it doesn't work. I definitely don't want to circle it. So we got to do the 8 now. And yes, you have to do all of them, even if you already see a pattern and you know it isn't going to work. because it proves to the teacher why it doesn't work, or yes, that you know what you're doing. Please stop with the comments. Okay, let's see. Is that 49 is less than 30? No. So I would exit out. I got 7 times 8 is 56. Minus 7 is 49. No, 48? Right, 49. Okay, next one. Now we got to do basically the same thing, but we're going to use this set of numbers. This 5, 6, 7, 8. We're filling it in for that x. Okay. Yep, we're going to try these. So we'll start with the 5 there and fill it in. So, 5. Is 25. Minus 6 is 19. Is 19 greater than or equal to 24? Nope. Okay, we'll do the next one. Which is 6. Is 24 greater than or equal to 24? Yes. So I need to circle the 6. Okay. Copy the problem. Is 49 greater than or equal to 24? Yes. Did I do it wrong? 56. Oh, no, 35. Oh, it should be 29, not 49. I knew something. I was like, y'all are all flipping out. That's right. 29. Is 29 greater than or equal to 24? Yes. Woo! But I still need to circle it. I'd wonder if I totally missed it there for a second. Okay, and now we're going to do the 8. So, is 34 greater than or equal to 24? Yes, greater than. So, that would be another answer. Listen, there is no magic number of answers. You might have one answer, you may have no answers. The way you prove it is by showing all 4 problems, or 3, whatever they ask you to do. I realize it's long and tedious. I promise. I've already done it 3 other class periods. Okay. Now, for solving and graphing each inequality, this is the easy part, okay? We're going back and we're going to use those inverse operations to solve the inequality. Okay. Yes. Yes. Y'all finish number 4 for me. You good? Okay, I just can tell. Y'all okay? Okay. Now, going on to 5 and 6, this part. This is where we're going to solve an inequality. It reminds me a lot of solving an equation because we're going to use the inverse operation. This is the easy part, I won't lie. Okay, so if it is 3x is greater than 3, our goal is to get x. Okay? Now, if there is a 3 with an x, that means multiply, so the opposite is divide. You got it. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Leaves me with an x. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now, what you have just done is you're telling me that all the answers, all the variables can be greater than 1. This is the day that we did like if it was plus 6, we did minus 6. If it was times 6, we did divided by 6.
Yeah, he was absent like a whole week we did that.
We had an assignment on Thursday though.
Yeah, he did like two sheets of it with me.
Okay. Okay, so basically,
Is that after the stuff?
I don't think he was out. But look, real quick. 3x means 3 times x. Okay? Like it means multiply. So, our goal is to get x all by itself. So, the opposite of multiply is divide. That's inverse operation. That's the big words for it. Okay, so, to get rid of a times 3, we're going to divide by 3. But what we do to one side, we do to the other. Because in the world of equations and inequalities, if you do it on one side, you got to do it on the other. That leaves you with just an x. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay? The reason this works, I want you to look at something, because right now this is kind of weird for all of you. If you have that greater than sign, we know it is an open circle. And if x is greater than 1, we know we need all of these answers. We need these shaded, like last night. Okay. But I want you to look at something, because for the first time you're seeing, wait a minute, this thing can have more than one answer. Look at this. You shaded in 3. I'm just playing here. I'm showing you something. You shaded in this number 3. So you're telling me that if I put a 3 there, what is 3 times 3? 9. Is 9 greater than 3? Yes. So that's an answer. Let's try 4. If I do 4 times 3, I get 12. Is 12 greater than 3? Yes. That is why these things have endless answers. You could do 100. You could do 1,000. That number line goes on forever. It is weird. I mean, like it's kind of like that x can be any number above 1. Okay? So looking at this one, look at number 6. On number 6, it is let me start over. It is 8 greater than or equal to n minus 6. Now, our whole goal on these is to find out what is n. Okay? We need to get rid of whatever's with the n on that side. Okay? It's a minus 6. So the opposite is a plus 6. Okay? Makes those go away. But what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Leaving me with an n and that symbol and 14. Now, this one is odd because I need you to think about last night's what if the variable is not in the front. If the variable's not in the front, we need to what? Change it. Guys, that variable's not in the front. We should be reading this thing as n is less than or equal to 14. Meaning, switch it. N is less than or equal to 14. Because to be able to graph it and to make it look right on our graph, we need our variable in the front. Okay? Now, you've got your inequality. 14 needs a colored in dot. right there, and it is n is less than 14. So I'm going to shade in all the less than's. Okay. Okay, let's look at numbers 7 and 8. Here we go. On number 7, it is k divided by 4 is less than or equal to 4. We want our k all by itself. So we need to get rid of a divided by 4. The opposite is multiply times 4. What we do to one side, we do to the other. These get to go away, leaving me with just a k. K is less than or equal to 16. Now, I realize these are kind of hard to see. There's your 16. Good old copy machine. Okay. If it is 16, it needs to be the full colored in because it has the equal sign. And less than is this n. Okay, because k is less than or equal to 16. Okay. And think about it. Like, let's say one of these less than numbers is 12. If I put 12 up here for k, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Is 3 less than 4? Yes, so you shaded the right side. Okay, here's number 8. Now, this one we do need to change the numbers. It is a glitch in the world of math. We need a 9 in the middle, then a 10, and an 11, and an 8, and a 7. Okay, now, this was one of the first styles we did was with a plus. So our goal is to get that S all by itself down here. Okay, if it is S plus 11, the opposite is minus 11. What we do to one side, we do to the other. 20 minus 11 is 9. Do we need an open circle or a closed circle? Open. And less than means go this way. Okay? Now, on the back, one second. On the back, number 1 and 2, this is your homework, look just like 1 and 2 on the front. 3 and 4 look just like 3 and 4 on the front. 5 through 8. Now, you may have to make the numbers on these, but it'll be okay. Just put the numbers you want on these number lines. Yes. The dot? Yes, the dot is shaded in on the greater than or equal to sign. Okay. Any questions? Finish that for homework.